In the middle of Chol HaMoed, I got an email from YouTube. It went something like this. Hi, Rabbi Yaakov Osher Sinclair. Looks like the Jews run the world, Pashas V'Tchanan, didn't follow our hate speech policy, and content that incites hatred against individuals or groups based on their protected group status isn't allowed on YouTube. This may include dehumanization, using slurs and stereotypes, inferiority claims, and or conspiracy theories. What was it that provoked the electronic ire of YouTube? Well, clearly the title "The Jews Run the World" was provocative, but a title that isn't provocative isn't worth its title. I assume YouTube had actually watched the video, and they must have seen that my video wasn't a conspiracy theory, unless Rabbi Chaim Volozhin's Nefesh HaChaim is a conspiracy theory. In Nefesh HaChaim, Reb Chaim explains that Hashem runs the world in accordance with the actions, words, and the thoughts of the Jewish people. When the Jews do what they're supposed to do, when we keep the mitzvahs, Hashem rains down on the whole world His bounty and blessing. And God forbid, when we transgress the will of Hashem, the world at large suffers from our lack of performance. And that's what I meant by "the Jews run the world." Now, you can certainly, from a secular standpoint, disagree with what the Nefesh HaChaim is saying, but that's not hate speech or a conspiracy theory by any definition of that term. Unfortunately, an anti-Semitic American Protestant pastor quoted my video on his website in an article entitled "We Are All Amalekites." This is a quote from his article. Don't believe me? Listen to what this very influential Jewish rabbi recently said. It doesn't matter if Donald Trump or Donald Duck wins the US elections. It doesn't really matter if Kamala Harris or Kermit the Frog wins the elections. When it comes to international affairs, anything that impinges on the future of the world, Donald Trump, Kamala Harris have no freedom of choice. They become like puppets. And who pulls the strings of those puppets? We do, the Jewish people. In other words, says the pastor, we, the rest of the world, are all Amalekites. Wow. Of course, I was quoting Mishlei, Proverbs 21:1, when Shlomo HaMelech, King Solomon, says, Leiv Melech biyad Hashem. The heart of the king is in the hand of Hashem. I was troubled by the thought that I was giving ammunition to those who hate us. And so I sent an email to Harav Yitzhak Breitovich Shlita, asking whether I should take the video down. This was his reply. This is very regrettable, but I'm inclined not to remove it. Torah is Torah, and we should not allow ourselves to be censored because Sonai Yisrael, Jew haters, distort our words. The prophet Chavakuk writes, Ki temole haaretz ladas es kavod Hashem, kamayim yechasu alayam. For the earth shall be filled to know the glory of Hashem as the waters cover the sea. Now there's something a bit unusual about this verse. How can the waters cover the sea? The sea is water. Maybe we can understand this with something that Rav Shimon Schwab Zatzal said. Rav Schwab said that in the days of Mashiach, everyone will have some knowledge of God, but it won't be uniform. Just as some areas of the sea are shallow and others are deep, so too people will experience the divine revelation on different levels, depending on their preparation, their merit, and their spiritual development. In the days of Mashiach, those who use the Torah to fan the flames of hatred of anti-Semitism will have enough knowledge to understand from where their punishment is coming. But those who spent their days diving deep in the sea of Torah will be as close as a human being can to Hashem.